When we board an airplane, we trust the flight crew with our lives. These pilots are highly trained, responsible for the safety of everyone on board. This trust is the foundation of air travel, enabling millions to fly daily. But this system depends on pilots being alert, equipment working, and clear communication. When any of these fail, disaster can strike. The story of Korean Air Flight 801 is a tragic example of what happens when these supports break down. On August 5, 1997, Korean Air Flight 801 left Seoul for Guam. The Boeing 747 was flown by an experienced crew, but the captain was likely fatigued from a previous long-haul flight. Passengers settled in, unaware of any issues, trusting the crew to deliver them safely. As the flight neared Guam in the early morning, rain and clouds reduced visibility. The crew prepared for landing, knowing they'd need to rely on their instruments. But fatigue and weather would soon test their abilities. The calm in the cabin contrasted sharply with the tension building in the cockpit. As they began their approach, a series of problems, both technical and human, were about to converge. The routine flight was about to face a crisis the tired crew was unprepared for. The Instrument Landing System, or ILS, is crucial for landing in poor weather. On this night, the vertical guidance, the glide slope, was out of service in Guam. The crew knew this and had to perform a more demanding non-precision approach, manually managing their descent. Fatigue and confusion led the captain to set up the approach incorrectly, descending too early. The first officer and flight engineer noticed issues but hesitated to challenge the captain, a result of strict cockpit hierarchy. Flying blind in heavy rain, the crew was unaware they were dropping below safe altitude. They were descending into darkness, with danger hidden just ahead. As Flight 801 descended, uncertainty filled the cockpit. The first officer grew concerned about their low altitude but didn't assertively challenge the captain. The captain, tired and fixated on his plan, ignored warnings. Even as the ground proximity warning system sounded alarms. Despite urgent alerts, the crew delayed action, believing they'd soon see the runway. Now, let's listen to the final moments inside the cockpit, in their original form, with subtitles. At 1:42 a.m., Flight 801 crashed into Nimitz Hill just 3 miles short of the runway. The impact tore the plane apart, igniting a massive fireball in the jungle. Rescue efforts were hampered by rain, darkness, and rough terrain. Only 23 of the 254 people on board survived, most by sheer luck. The tragedy sent shockwaves through South Korea and the aviation world. Families mourned and investigators began searching for answers. How could a modern jet with an experienced crew crash on approach? The investigation would reveal hard truths about human error and system failures. The NTSB investigation found the captain's error and fatigue as primary causes. Crew members failed to challenge mistakes due to rigid hierarchy. The lack of glide slope guidance and poor training contributed to the disaster. Korean Air overhauled its safety culture, emphasizing teamwork and communication. The airline's transformation led to a much improved safety record. The story of Flight 801 is a stark reminder. Technology can guide, but only alertness and honest communication can save lives. Aviation safety depends on people as much as machines. Thank you for joining us to remember this tragedy and the lessons learned. At Black Box Chronicles, we go beyond headlines to understand what really happened in the cockpit. Subscribe for more true aviation stories. Stay alert, stay sharp. This is Black Box Chronicles.